I like very much like to work with React as well. So any of the time, like if I get an opportunity to work on any of the community projects, I'm like always open to do that. So that is about me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And anytime, like just give me a call or say send a message. I would be actively available on any of the platform. Okay.
Yeah.
That is more than I can say for other, like
Yeah.
most of the guys.
So Tufail, I guess you're joining us for the first time. Can you please
Yes.
turn on a camera and introduce yourself to us?
So with camera, I already told I'm outside now. So
Okay. Can you introduce yourself to us?
yes, it's my name Tafal. I am from Kashmir itself. So I have almost 5 years experience. I started my career as like a full stack developer. So I worked on Ruby on Rails, Angular JS, but currently I'm working more UI work like React JS, TypeScript, and Next.
Okay, okay. And for people who are joining us for the first time, guys, I'll just walk you across what is happening today, right? And why we're doing this, what is agenda. So this is called a community meet. This is a ritual in our community where every week, once in a week, we actually have this community meet where it is also a way for you to connect, interact, and learn from the other community members. Where our community members range from zero to mostly 30 plus years of experience too. We do have people with 30 plus years of experience in IT industry, right? And this is a great way of getting to know each other, learning from each other. And if you're having any doubts, you can actually connect one to one, because connecting over text and talking over on a meet is really different. That's a poles apart, right? And we're just trying to make the learning more accessible as possible, more interactive and more engaging as possible. And coming to the community meet, we usually have an agenda every meet. Let's say once we discussed about the interview questions that we tackle, and the once we discussed about JavaScript versus Java, or front end versus back end, or anything. Every topic that we choose is tech centric, and what makes it amazing is when you're listening one topic or point of view from different experience and perspective. That's where you learn a lot of stuff, right? So when we are actually taking a topic of discussion which is around tech, and then when you hear a person with 2 years of experience, his perspective and his learnings are different from the person of 10 plus years of experience, right? And you might have a lot of questions, and the best way to ask them is to interact in a community meet like this. So that's the whole idea. And I've been conducting this community meets for over 25 right now, I guess. Since we started the community, over 25. Last time I checked, it was over 25. So had amazing discussions. First, we did not, we didn't record and all of that. And then I realized the content that we're kind of discussing in the community meet was really, really engaging and resourceful. And I did not want to, let go of something this valuable. So we kind of started live streaming it on our company's channel, and making it a little more broadcasting on a little bigger audience, so that it is also available for the other people. So yeah, I think let's start with the topic today. And the topic for today is how to tackle challenges or awkward situation in the job, right? And let's start with Dikshit. Dikshit, so you have been working for a long, like let's say 6 plus years of experience, right? And but you were also in other industry
Yeah.
prior to IT, right? And after coming to the IT, it might have been difficult for you to switch. And IT world is really different from something that you've been working before. And when you got started, how did you learn, and what were the challenges that you faced had someone who was from a different industry but stepped into IT industry? Yeah.
So
Okay.
so starting with me, like the simple thing which happened with me, like when I was into like plastic industry. I was like having like two plastic industry of myself. Like I was the owner of that, and like there was a time when my family was trying to move to US, and I got a priority. Like I was into a month, a year of time. Like I was thinking of doing something because I want to change. I want to go for a change. So I asked my brother. My brother is a software engineer. He is working in US, and he told me like you can go with software industry. Like you can understand and you can start to work on that, because he was known to me and he was having like, okay, you would be able to understand what is going on and what would be going on. So I told each and everything, and he told me like start with basic first. So he gave me like the basic guideline of HTML, CSS, and this told me like, okay, now go for it. I told like, what should I go for it? Like you have to tell me like any further step. Because I don't have like any kind of further steps. You would be finding like error. You would be going for debugging, and then you would be able to solve all of the things. So that is how I tackle like the first point. Then I started working with him. It was a good opportunity. Like he gave me like few things on the basic roadmap and basic stuff. After that, I gradually grasped like knowledge from him and then moved ahead. So like that, like it came up. Right now, I'm working with like good firms, good work. Like all of the things are going well, but I'm always improvising myself. Like I'm spending time to improvise myself. So that is like the challenge which I'm facing. And right now also I'm like working for like few things. And in like coming week, I would be learning like blockchain and blockchain technologies. So which are like important part of our application. So that is always an open thing. So this is how like it would be going from my side.
So what are, if you have to, list down 2 to 3 major challenges that you faced, Dakshit, and how did you overcome it? Let's say, if you can name any 1 or 2, let's say.
So the first challenge which I faced was in my initial days. Okay, the first thing was like when I was writing the HTML stuff, I was not able to input an image into my HTML page, and I was striking the head for like 3 days. Like what was the thing which I was doing wrong? And I asked my brother. He told me like I'm not having like any kind of answer for you. Just go into Google and find your answer. Like I told like please look at the code and just tell me. I don't have like time for you. Just go and look at your Google. So that was the first thing, because he gave me the opportunity to learn from Google. So the first thing that developers should learn is find the answer to Google. If you are not able to find the answer in Google, then go to your senior person. For me, my senior person was my brother. He's younger than me, but he's a senior person to me. I can go and ask him like, okay, I'm facing this problem, just open me. So he would be giving me all of the things. Then second problem was when I came to of the second company. It was like Food Vibe. So in that company, the problem was they gave like the complete staff. Okay, the application was like Monstack application. I started working with them. But on the initial phase, I told them like this would be causing a problem. So you need to restructure the application. Otherwise, it would be breaking up. And they were like not able to understand. I showed them like, okay, now you can see like the application is breaking up. And I broke his application, and then they were able to understand, okay, we can go for restructuring. And they gave me the time to restructure the application. Apart from that, the recent incident which happened with me, it's memorable. I told my company where I'm working, I told them like I don't want to work with this client right now. So they were having like why this person like is staying, because I'm having a other reputation with my company, saying like, okay, if this person has been given to some of the client, then it's like we just have to present the bill, and like he would be like nothing else. We need not to worry about anything. He would be taking care of all of the stuff. But there was some issues. I told them, and they told me like take a month, and try to give them like time to sort out like all of the things from their side. If that has been not solved, then you can leave. And that is what happening like right now. We are cleaning up all of the problems which are coming up. So these are the like memorable things which are happening with me.
So, Dikshit, if you have to, give a quick key takeaways of your learning, and if you have to give advice on anyone who's getting started, irrespective of which industry they're from, let's say someone who's, not from the same industry and getting started, from your learning experience, what are your quick advice or takeaways that you would advise them?
So quick advice, like from my side, like each and every time when you start something new, don't stop until you finish that. Because when I started my journey, like I started with like basic stuff. I started with HTML, then I went to CSS, then I went to JavaScript, because I was like very much interested in JavaScript, and my brother told like don't pick like multiple language. Don't be like taking like whole of the things and you don't know nothing. Pick only one thing and stay with that till the end of the world. Okay, if you want to be like a master of something, pick a language, be a master of that language. Like you should be knowing from A to Z of that language. That would be the takeaway. Like I would be, I'm like always doing the same thing. Like I'm not going for Java, going for .NET, because I'm getting like lots of opportunities for that thing. But I'm not going with that thing. I literally tell like, okay, that is not my cup of tea. I just want to go with JavaScript. Like if you have anything, I would be solving those things. And that is how it works with me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I saw like lots of problem with JavaScript as well.
Yes, I think it's really important and it applies to everyone, right? We started, but we do not complete that.
Complete
We
like
kind of stop in the middle. And that's really important. Once we start, we'll make sure if we get it to the end of it, you'd be on a very different level of
Yeah.
than the one we started with. Yeah, that's
So
a
we
great
get
point.
like people get lazy, and I also used to get lazy like lots of the time.
Yeah.
Like I get too much lazy, and I do not do like those work. But
Yes.
there should be a drive in yourself. Like it should be always calling you and telling you complete those stuff, and it would be great for you. At the
Yeah.
end, like at the end of that project, you would be able to see yourself from where you started and where you are.
Exactly. Exactly. That's definitely there. Yeah, thank you so much, Dikshit. And guys, Dikshit is also, helping out people in the community. And if you want any help, you can just
Yeah.
tag Dikshit, and he'll be more than happy to help you guys. If you're working on any project, let us know. And we have created a community. We have created a channel in the community called Community Projects, right? Where if you're working on any personal project or any project that you want to help on or any assistance with, feel free to just talk about your project, and I'll make sure that I could get some collaborative work done and any resourceful help that I can provide from my side. And that's the whole idea of the community in the first place. So yeah. And hi Hemant, can you hear us? Yeah, Hemant, if you're talking, I guess you're on mute. Okay, I guess Hemant is not able to hear. Yeah, Arsh. Hi, Arsh, can you hear us? Am I audible?
Actually, he's written in the chat that he's not in the home, so he'll not be turning on to his mic.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Sanu, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm able to hear you, Amjad.
Sanu, I think this is the first time you're joining us. Please turn on your camera and can you please introduce yourself to us?
1 second.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Arun Kumar. I am a software engineer having 3 years of experience in front-end development. So currently I'm working in Publicis Sapient, and yeah, for the last 3 years I am doing all the front-end work. I am very I really like this work, and from the starting I learned JavaScript only. So I'm going through this as Dixie said, like if you learn one thing, stick with this one, right? So I'm doing the same thing from the day one. So yeah.
So you've been working on front end since 3 years, right?
Right. Yeah, on different projects. Yeah.
Okay. So where are you from and which company are you working for?
I'm currently working for Publicis Sapient.
Okay, and that's based out of?
Basically, it is based out of US, and like I'm currently, I can't reveal the client name because of the policy.
No. I'm asking the company is it in Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai? Where are you from?
Currently in Bangalore itself.
Oh, okay, that's amazing. Yeah, I was talking about the company. Yeah, Sanu. Now that we're talking about challenging situations that you faced in your job and how did you overcome it, right? I just want to know how from your experience, how did you start and how did it go till 3 years of experience? And if you have to focus on any major challenge, what's something and how did you tackle it, and how did you get over the challenge, and how did you recognize that in the first place? So yeah.
So, like last year, I started working on some personal project, and it was kind of mobile application. So I started learning React Native by myself. So in the initial phase, like there are lots of challenges in the development of this new app. So basically, I need to go through a couple of tutorials, but those are not as effective as I thought in the initial phase. So I usually go to the documentation. There you will get a lot of information, and then community always helps in those situations, right? So
Yeah.
at that time, I got Recruit Talks. So I follow multiple like blogs and forums. So there I got, okay, whatever I facing in my project. So I'm getting all the information from the community itself. So day by day, I'm learning new stuff, using all those like techniques and like whatever I am facing in the developing my app. I usually solve following the documentation, some of the videos I got from the YouTube. So that's why I resolved that, and after 1 year, I launched that app in Play Store as well.
Oh,
And
that's amazing.
yeah, basically that application is used by one of the organization. So that's why I started. In the initial, like firstly I made one like basic Java software with the help of my brother, and it is used in my family itself. Like basically, it is used to generate bills. So this is my first project, and when I started doing that, like there are also a couple of things I'm facing issue there also. So that time I like I'm very new to the software development, right? So that I'm only Google will help us. So every time I face any issue, I search on Google, and whatever I got there, I'm doing with that. Yeah, that's all.
That's really interesting, Sanu. So I just want to know, like, what were you working at? And when you said Recruit Talks, right? We've been organizing webinars for a while. And which webinar did you refer to, and how did that help you? I just want to get to know how did that happen?
Like initially, I gave interview at Recruit itself last year. So from
Okay.
there, I got to know like there is a community and there is a Discord channel as well. So there is one session on React itself. So that
Yeah.
I refer to. So yeah,
Okay.
it was like 1 year back. in
Okay.
2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did like organize more than 70 webinars, I guess, on different
Yeah.
topics.
Yeah. So
And
there is one like kind of masterclass or something related to React. So that I joined the first, and then like I busy with my work. So this is like after a long time I joined again.
Yep. So that kind of helped you to like, build on your personal project and like get that launched.
Right.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. And coming to the personal projects, Anu, I just want to talk about like, are you still working on some projects or something? And what are your major learnings and experience on working on any personal projects? And were you the only one working? And if you have to shed a light on a personal projects, and why is it important for a developer to work on a personal project? What would your take be on the same?
So basically, in the last 3 years, what I got to know is like whatever you working in your official project, right? So there are only like you can say a section, like you can only work on one project, right? But if you want to learn more, so only personal project help us, or you can join some open source project. So there, what you will get is like you will go through multiple topics. You will find like whatever you are interesting on. So you will work on those interesting project. So there, like in that case, my personal project helped me. Like if I want to learn to develop a mobile application, I can do that, right? If I want to learn like desktop application, I can go for that. So
Yeah.
these opportunity will not like come in official project, like whatever we are working on in our office. So that's
Yeah.
why I choose a personal project in my spare time.
Yeah, that's amazing. But so for all those people who, kind of not complain exactly, but when they say that we are not actually having a lot of time besides the job and other works, how are you managing as a developer and also working on a personal project, having a full-time job to work on? How are you like balancing that?
So basically, like every day, if you dedicate at least 1 hour, right? Or if
Mm-hmm.
you're not getting that much, at least week on weekends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone got weekends, right? Like in some project, you need to work on weekends itself, but you will like try to block 2 hours or 3 hours in a week and try to utilize those hours for personal project or to contribute in some open source project. So in that way, I like schedule my calendar.
Yeah, got it, got it. And coming to any key takeaways that you have, Sanu, from your experience, be the challenges that you faced in your job or the challenges that you kind of faced while you were developing on any personal project, and what would that be? And if you have to advise anyone who's starting off their career as a developer or who's 1 to 2 years into the developing phase, what would your advice be for someone like that?
So basically, if you find anything interesting, like initially I didn't find Java is like or per se like backend, right? So I can't find that much interesting. So I usually go to the front end side, and then I find this is very interesting. I can build multiple applications with that. So I always stick with this. Like you need to learn completely this part first. Then anyway, like in the process, you can switch from front end to back end, and then as a full stack developer. So, so my key takeaway is like if you start building something, right? First, you set a goal, and then finish it first. Then move to the second. Then move to the third. So this I am currently following. Yep.
Yep. I think that also adds up to Dikshit's point where he says when you're starting something, you need to complete it. And the best way to complete it is to have a short-term goals, right? Break it into short-term goals and then start achieving that. I think that's really great. Yeah, thank you so much, Sanu. And are you working on any project as of now?
As of now, like I started one of the project, like I'll make it publicly on GitHub. So yeah, as of
Oh,
now,
that's amazing.
yeah.
That's
Thank you.
amazing. And if you're looking out for any collaborations or anyone, if you're interested in your project, make sure that if you could drop your project details or if you're working on the same thing, you can just drop it in Discord. And people who are interested, I think maybe they can join you and also like maybe check out your project that you've been working on. So that's great.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. I think, okay. Hi, Kirti. You've been silent for a lot of time. Are you okay?
Yeah, it's cold. I have cold.
So Kirti, we're just talking about the same challenges that we've been facing as a developer in a day-to-day job, right? So what is your take on it? And what are the challenges that you faced from your journey and from your perspective, how do you overcome that?
Okay, like if I talk about like our project that we work on, every day is a challenge if you get a new task. So you need to understand new not the new technology, but the new concept for that. And maybe sometimes your seniors told you to actually optimize the performance. So in that you need to actually brainstorming those things. So first thing, like I'll like at my initial stage, I used to talk to my senior and told them that why it's not the right solution. It's good enough because it's working and everything is going fine. But then he told us that let's say if something goes wrong, like let's say the user base has been increased, but it won't work for those ones. So like you need to listen those and work on that, the feedback that they gave. And challenging is sometimes we think that it's a 9 to 5 job, but it is not. If you get a task and you are not able to complete it in 5, you need to work after 5, or maybe it's sometimes it's 10 or 12, because if you don't actually solve that problem, it's not gonna worth it. The whole day will go So you can take a break of 45 minutes and then start brainstorming again. So I will suggest that, keep thinking and don't just give up, like, it's not solving. So that I do. If you are not able to do it in one day, then ask from your senior. Like, if
Yeah.
you have that timeline, decide that timeline. Like, let's say they have given you that 2 days for that. So spend that much time that you have, and then if you are not able to solve it, ask the senior. So don't
Yeah.
just hesitate to ask them in a period of time. Yeah.
Yeah. So any major like key takeaways, if you say, let's say, what is a major mistake that developers get on, or let's say, if there's something they miss on the documentation part, because that's the reason they are actually having a lot of challenge on a day-to-day stuff, or anything that usually developers are missing on that you've been doing yourself and then realize, okay, maybe this is not something that I should be doing. What would that be? Anything around that?
Like, on the like beginner level, when someone start learning something, let's say React. So they
Yeah.
start
Okay.
following,
Let's go
they
with the
start
beginner level.
following some tutorials from the YouTube or maybe Udemy. So we mostly go there. But what they miss out is that when they are building some project, it's important to innovate some things by their own. Like, it's sometimes we just follow the tutorials and we complete that and we think that, yeah, we got that. But when
Yeah.
you start working on that from scratch by yourself, then you
Yeah.
feel like, no, this thing I don't know. So you need to go in depth and start innovating that application that you have learned from the tutorial. So I would suggest that, don't just follow the tutorials, learn things by yourself as well. Change some things in the projects and change some features by
Mhm.
yourself. Then you can able to test your knowledge, and then you got to know about your knowledge, what is your knowledge in React, and how you can actually, because when you do in real time project, sometimes client can tell you to change something, right? So you
Hmm.
need to be very effective on that. Yeah, you can do that.
Yep. I think that's really important, and irrespective of how many tutorials, right, or you have and you watch, and irrespective of how many blogs you read, if you don't, solve stuff on a ground level, if you don't get your hands dirty at the first place, I don't think so. Like most people would learn. I think that's really that also applies to college, Dikshit, because in we get a lot of engineers graduating every year, but the actual skill and knowledge that they hold or of a particular degree that they chose and graduated from is very less when compared to the people who are graduating, right? Let's say out of 100, it's at least 1-2% who are actually skilled enough in that particular stuff
So,
and graduating in the same stuff, because
so
reading is different than working, I guess.
yeah, there was a scenario like there's a I would relate it with the example. Last year I took like 30 interviews of NIIT students. No, not NIIT. It was IIT students. IITs from Bangalore. I don't know, like it was from Bangalore or someone like. And I was taking like interview for a React position. Like we want React developers. We wanted like React developers. Took the interviews. I started with like basic questions, like way basic, like Navi. Like I would be saying like if I ask those questions to anyone, like a small kid, like who would be knowing like basic stuff, would be able to answer my questions. Those Navi questions. And like they were like tremendously kicking my head. Like I was thinking like why I did ask these questions to them. When I asked them to show their project, like they were having like lots of project with them. So I told them like open one of your project. I want to look at the code, like what kind of coding structure you follow. So one of the person told me like, okay, this is the code. I told, what is that line number 45 doing in there? What is the use of that line? Just explain me. That is more than enough for me. And like they were roaming around the bushes, like they were not able to give me a correct answer. Like none of them, like I took 25 interviews and like it was
Oh
very
my
bad.
God.
Within 20,
Okay.
25 minutes, I closed up all of the things that I told my manager. I won't be taking like any more interviews from this school or something. Because like
Yeah.
whenever a student comes from a university or say college, okay, the basic thing that they are not doing, like they are not focusing on to the mean scenario, what like market is doing in the market. If there is a boom of JavaScript, then you should be learning the basic and the core feature. If your basic and core are good, you would be able to solve like React also. React
Yeah.
is no
Yeah.
big deal. It's
Yeah.
like a simple thing. React or say Node.js, like any kind of algorithms, you can solve of the lot of things with that. But you
Yeah.
need to understand what is happening under
Yeah.
the hood. If you are
Yeah.
not able to find out those stuff, it's a problem for them.
Yep.
And
Yep.
the key feature for them is like to try to get involved into like errors, like find errors and try to solve those errors.
Yes. Yeah. I think, why do you think so? Besides the fact that people like students are not really, aware of what is happening in the industry, right? So that is one thing that they are missing. So besides that, what else do you think is making people just, be unaware of everything that they are actually studying and holding a degree on, besides the fact that they are actually unaware of the market? Is it
So,
what would you recommend for people like that? Like, let's say, what would you recommend students who are graduating, or maybe who are starting
so
the professional journey?
if a student is trying to start with a professional journey, they should be getting like internships. I would be asking like any student to try to find an internship with any of the say if the company is giving you say 2,000 or say 1,000 rupee, or say if they are not paying you anything, try to grab those opportunities. Go for the internship like for 3 months. Okay, you would be gaining like something. There won't be
Yeah.
any kind of loss
Yeah.
in those internship. If there is a possibility, if there would
Yeah.
be a good developer who would be sitting upon you, he would be
Yeah.
teaching you lots of things.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
So sometimes like people don't go for internship, like they think like, okay, internship is not like my cake, I would be going directly with the my degree and I would be getting like the job. But what happens like if a person is if say if XYZ is doing has done his internship, after it goes like 2 or 3 internships, he would be getting like an experience of like a 6 month. He would be considered as a junior developer, and he would be directly grabbing like some amount of money at the first point
Yeah.
of interview.
Yeah, yep, 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 yep. I think that's really important, right? Like having a practical application of
Yeah.
what you're, doing. And I did come across a lot of developers in my 2 years of, interacting and working with the community. There are few developers who are not really good with the academics, but excellent with their skills. Like
Yeah.
they can actually, they started freelancing in the college itself. And even though they kind of bunk 1-2 classes, that's completely fine because they exactly hold what is required when you get out of
Yeah.
college, which is a skill over a degree. Right?
People like so I was asked like many a times in lots of interview when I go and face interview, like people ask me like, okay, you're having like, okay, this is like your experience. Okay, I'm fine with your experience. Tell me, what is your education? I tell I'm a diploma graduate. Okay, I have done my diploma in electronics and telecommunication in 2008. And that's like, and I've not done a BTech. Okay, I'm a BTech dropout. Okay, that's fine. Just tell me the problem that you're facing in your application. Like I'm the person who would be solving that problem. Don't ask me about my education. I'm the person who would be solving those
Yeah.
problems.
Yes, that's actually very on the point. And I think we do have people who are starting the journey and also in the college right now. Arsh is in the college. I
Yeah.
think Arsh Muhammad is in the college in 3rd year, and even Dave is starting with his professional journey, right? So Dave, I just want to understand from your perspective, what is something that you are facing, and how is it from your perspective, if you change the direction of looking at things from your side, who actually graduated and looking out for a job? What's something that you're facing a problem, and where something that you would hope that if you got assistance over, it would be great? Yeah.
Yeah, so according from my side, I've graduated in 2022, so it's been since 3 to 4 months from now. So I will upskilled my skills. I have learned React and other stuffs also. In the college, I didn't done so much things because in the COVID, I passed out. So in the COVID, we're just chilling out. So not done so many things. So in the last time of college, I thought I should do something. Otherwise, I'll not be considered a good one. So now actually I was upskilled myself. So my family members are telling me to do the masters, MC and other stuff. But I don't want to go for the masters. I want some real experiences in the industry. I want to
Yeah.
work in the real stuff because I don't want to learn the theoretical part, and because I had done it in the bachelor's, no, they didn't taught so much. And in the college, I will spend 2 years from now. And if I will spend 2 years in the some industry, and I will gain much more experience than the master degree. So I was looking for that. So currently I'm looking for that. So I want to ask Dikshit, how much a degree is important, master degree is important, because my family members are pressurizing me to do
So-
the, because
So from my
Yeah,
side,
yeah.
like I would be saying only one thing. Okay, there are like lots of article from Elon Musk. Okay, from Tesla,
Yeah.
where he is
Yeah,
shouting
yeah.
out like, I don't need any kind of degree or
Yeah.
paper that
Yeah,
is
he told
saying like,
he told I will consider a 10th class student if he has the ability to do my work,
yes,
I will consider him.
yeah.
But
So
And
how
make sure.
how I can convince my family members about this?
So just tell them like you have to convince them by yourself. Like it won't be
Yeah,
someone else coming up. But
Yeah,
the main thing is like you have to go to some company first
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to get an internship letter.
yeah,
If you are having like multiple internship letter, okay, you would be having like something that would be improvising you. Okay, if you are
that
working for any kind of internship, like I'm also I'm taking like I have like 2 or more interns with my company. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm like having like a complete monitoring on them. Like if they do something wrong, they just give me a call and say tell me like, okay sir, we have done this code, just please take a review. If there is anything that you require to change, just give me a call.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I help them, like I tell them like, okay, this is not wrong, this is right, but this can be done in a modified way.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This can be more optimized in
Yes.
some ways.
Yeah.
Think on
So-
a broader perspective, like you have to always think on a bright side.
So that's what I'm missing, that I'm looking for the job, not for the internship. So
So
Yeah.
yeah, you can grab a job, but for getting that job, you have to spend like time for this thing.
Upskilling yourself.
Yes,
Yeah.
you have to upskill
And which
yourself.
stuff you're
I have to be very good at it.
Yeah. No, if you have a convincing power, okay.
Yeah.
If you are able to convince me, if I take your interview, okay, and in that interview, if you are able to convince me that you are the right candidate for my my project, or say my company, then I would be taking you.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the main
Yeah.
point. Like when I was sitting for like I sit for lots of interviews. I spend like time. Why? To gain knowledge. Only one thing. It's in mind. Like if people say you are rejected, I must say, okay, that's good for me. That rejection would be giving me knowledge.
Yeah.
There are
I'm
like 5
gaining
questions.
something from it.
There are 5 questions that people ask, and those 5 questions would be like difficult level questions. So I would be taking those questions, trying to solve those questions, and I would be able to understand, okay, this was the point that he was trying to convince me. I am already having that thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to try it by that way, and always try to upskill yourself.
Yeah. Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Arsh is also Arsh. I think you're in your 3rd year, right? So do you have any questions for Dikshit or Sanu or Kirti regarding the same thing? I think Arsh is not available. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Anand.
For me, it will be good if Sanu and Kirti can also give a light in that perspective. Their perspective also kind of good for me.
Yeah. 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 Hi, Anand. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hi Apsa. Hello.
Yeah. Hi, hello. Anand, can you please turn on your camera and introduce yourself to us? Is it the first time you're joining in?
Yeah, actually, I have joined from a mobile. There is some issue with my Wi-Fi connection. That's why I turn on my camera. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Can you introduce yourself to us and like let us know what you're working as, how long have you been working, which company, and just a basic introduction. Yeah.
So I am a 2020 graduate from
Okay.
IIT Bangalore. I have done my engineering in electronics and telecommunication.
Okay.
So I graduated at the time of COVID. It
Mhm.
then I worked as a sports analyst in company Huddle
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
1.5 years.
Oh,
Then
okay.
work from home. Then
Wow.
from college only I was more interested in coding and all. So
Hmm.
due to sake of job I took it in my college. Like during the time of COVID I took a job for the sake of earning. But like I was more interested in coding and stuff. So I left my job in May 2022 and started upscaling myself. And yeah, I'm currently learning web development and eventually applying for my jobs and all, for remote job and whatever web development jobs. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So have you, have you been working as an intern in different companies like while you were, having your college years?
Yeah. I have done one internship while I was doing my college uh, in a IoT company.
Hmm. Okay. So
And
Anand, I just want to understand, let's say now that you graduated, right? And you're kind of in the middle of the, your college life and also one step away from from starting your professional journey, right? And if you're searching on for something that you're passionate about, and if you're searching for a job that you would want to land up in, what are you actually currently facing that you would want to help around, or anything that you wish you knew or got the assistance over? Because we do have people who are actually working with good companies for a long time. And what would you ask anyone of these people who joined us today? Anything that you have been facing right now, any advice that you want? Yeah,
so
Kirti.
I'm like I want more opportunities for remote work. I'm not getting that much. I'm still applying and let's see. But yeah, I'm not getting that much of like I have been applying in so many companies, but I'm not getting reply from, because they are asking for like 1 or 2 year experience in that domain. So
Mhm.
that is the problem I am facing currently.
Anand, so
Okay.
can you tell me like what is your domain? What is your main domain? Like what are you working?
Yeah, so basically I have switched my domain. I worked as an analyst for Huddle, if you know HUDL. Huddle, it's an American company. So I switched from analyst to a developer job. So I just upskill myself in coding, web development, JavaScript and stuff, JavaScript, Python. So I'm looking job in that part, web development, software engineering.
Okay. Okay.
So the company will ask you why you actually change your domain, right? So that will, when, because I am also from electronics and communication department. I was
So
so
so today
and I
people
see
are gathered from electronics and telecommunication only. Yeah. If I'm not wrong, like
I guess
I am
so.
also
I'm not
electronics and
sure.
telecommunication graduate. Okay. So that is the reason I'm telling like we are the three
Yeah,
people now.
that that's why I raised the hand. That why actually came from that EC to CS. Because that question will be asked in every interview whenever you give, because it's my experience. In my experience, they ask you the question, why actually changing this domain, right? Be prepared for that question and think about it.
Yeah.
So Anand, like give me a message, like drop me a call, okay? Or say drop me a message. It would be I would be giving you something, okay?
Yeah, sure, sure.
So Anand, are you working on any personal project as of now?
No, yeah, I am working. I'm like not a production project. Like I'm upscaling myself, like doing some e-commerce project for my own portfolio. So yeah, in a front-end domain.
Yep.
Front-end part.
So Anand, I'll just recommend you one thing. If you're having, now that you've been working on a front-end project, right? Do drop the project details and what you've been working on in project hashtag community projects over there. You can get your projects reviewed, or if you want any helping hand, we can have people who can collaborate with you, or if you want any assistance, right? We have people like Dikshit, we have Tejas, we have Anand Kumar. Like we have a lot of people who are actually experts in the industry that you are aspiring to get into, right? That would be a great way, because now that everyone are sitting in our own homes, I think learning is kind of constrained to a point. But unless you get yourself a mentor, get yourself someone who's expert into something that you've already been working on, I don't think so you'll be learning. Yeah, so make sure that you're dropping your project details, and I'll make sure that we'll get some expert like Dikshit, or Dikshit could help you, or Tejas could help you. And we have Anand Kumar, we have Ashish, we have a lot of people who are actually, doing great and working with great companies, and they can help you around, and you can take the assistance from there, right? And explore the other channels in the community now that you're starting, right? Being a part of community like this, where I'm not trying to sugarcoat it, but I've seen really good people in the community who are helping, and Dave is also taking the help of people in the community.
Totally agree with it.
Right. And this is a great way for you to upskill, and you're in the right place, and you can just take the most out of it, like take the most advantage out of it. You can ping me anytime you want. If you want any resources or help, if you want me to connect with any mentors, I'm over here. And the whole idea of the community is to just, connect, learn, and interact and upskill yourself, right? And just make sure that you're doing that. Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. Hi, Afan. Can you hear us?
Yeah, hi.
Afan, can you turn on your camera? Yes. Yeah, I think this is the first time you turned on the camera. You did join a lot of times, but I've seen you drop in the middle.
Oh, I have earlier joined also and turned on the camera also.
Yes. So, Afan, can you introduce yourself to us and all the people who don't know you? Just a quick introduction of what you do, how long have you been working, which company you've been working?
Yeah, so I'm Affan Ahmed, and I have an experience of 3 years in front-end development. I have been working with CS, and I'm working on Angular right now. And earlier I was working on React and React Native.
Oh, that's amazing. And Afan, today's topic of the discussion is, what are the challenges that you faced as a developer in your job, and how did you tackle it, right? You've been, now that you told that you've been switching to different tech stacks in your 3 years of experience, how was your journey from switching from one tech stack to another, and how are there any challenges that you faced? And if you have any challenges, how did you overcome it? What were the challenges that you faced at the first place? Yeah.
Okay, so there are some challenges, like when I switched from React to Angular. Like in Angular, there was some sort of learning curve, so that I faced. So yeah, and still there are some new things in Angular that I'm still not sure of. So I'm continuously learning those things.
So things like what exactly are you facing the challenge? Let's say you've also worked on React, right? And a couple of 2-3 frameworks in the front end. So what is the reason for you to switch your tech stacks? And I just want to understand, few people stick to one tech stack and work for 3 to 4 years, but you've been switching the tech stacks, and you have a little diverse experience, and when compared to the people who are sticking with the same tech stack, right? So what is your motive behind that? when you're like, switching your domains?
So I'm in front-end development only. So yeah, but I have switched from React to Angular. So that project actually got closed. So that's why I changed my project, and then it was in Angular. So I have started working on Angular and learning things. So the difficulties like in React, I used Redux, and in Angular there is NGRX. So there is some implementation changes and all that I need to learn. So yeah.
Yep. If you have to, I think Dikshit is also here. Dikshit, have you been working on any frameworks or languages that he's actually mentioning? And let's say Angular is something that you've been working on right now, right, Afan? And have you been working on the same thing? Did you work on the same thing?
Like same.
Dikshit, you're on.
Pardon?
Sorry.
I didn't understand.
It was for me. So from my side, like I'm working majorly with React and React frameworks. Like apart from like above saying like React, like they've written like Next.js. So I've worked with Next.js. I work with like frameworks with React. Then few other stuff, but not I have not switched anything. Like I majorly focus with React. Like my major focus with React. And I'm getting an opportunity for React Native, so I'll be starting like React Native as well in few days. So that is like how it is going with me now.
Yep. Yes, Anu, you have any?
Yeah, like I have worked on Angular as well, like in the first year, like in my previous company. And the thing is like whatever he said, like there's a difference between a state management in React and Angular. So I have worked on NGRX as well. So yeah, there is a bit of learning curve in Angular in respect of React. So eventually, when you get the concept, like if you understand the same thing in React, so there are a couple of changes or terms in Angular. So you can go through the documentation itself, and there are a couple of good tutorials as well. So yeah, you can find it, and I will provide the links for that in community channel.
Yeah, sure. I think that would be a great help. Often, you can connect with Sanu, and now that he also had work on the same tech stack that you've been, working on, right? You can connect with him on Discord, and Sanu, I think you can drop any blogs or resources that you find helpful in the Angular channel. I think we kind of created the Angular channel specific for that. Make sure that you can drop it, and not just Afan, if any other people who are actually working with the same thing and facing the same problem, I think they can actually find it a great help.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We do have
that
one
would be
question. Guys, we have one question from our live audience, and that person is asking his Arav Rawat. Okay, and he's asking, having 2.5 years of experience in Angular, and according to the market, is it necessary to learn React as well, or mastery in Angular?
I would suggest, like, if you are having like experience in Angular, stay with Angular. Just go ahead and like have more and more deeper dive. Like, be a full-fledged Angular developer. Like, say people should be coming to you and taking like solutions from your side. Be at that point.
Yeah. So I think the question is answered. Why is it important, by the way, Dikshit? So why do you guys think we need to stick with one? Do you think we need to stick with one language or framework, or do we have to switch it or something like that?
It's not like that. Like sometimes people say like we need to switch. Like switch is better, but I would say like if you try to grab like all of the fruits from the basket, okay, you won't be able to eat a single one. You focus on the single one, you would be able to go for mastering that thing. So if you say like I want to go for master, I would be taking like JavaScript, the main language. That I would be going for mastering.
Yeah.
And if I go for if I'm like getting at that level that I'm a master, I can tell myself like I'm a master. I can solve like anything from anywhere. I can write the complete library as well. At that point of time, you would be able to have understanding like, okay, React, it's a piece of cake. I can write like React in a faster way. Angular, okay, it's a small thing. I can do that one. I can do next. I can do next. Anything I can do. But learning something on a first thing, it would be stronger. It would be giving you more and more knowledge and experience with that. So that is why I would say like prefer stay in that same area. Don't roam away like because I started doing the same thing and I was doing wavering like all of those stuff and I came back to the same point like okay JavaScript is best. Don't move from here itself now.
Yes. What is your take on the same thing, Sam?
I differ a little bit because of my experience in like official work. Like I started with Angular, and due to the project requirement, there is a need of our unit to switch to React or let's say React Native, right? So it depends, but the fundamentals here is the JavaScript. If you love JavaScript, if you want to work with the same language, the core concept is the same, right? So you can't tell some of the project like, yeah, I'll not go ahead with the Angular or React project, like because if let's say you started with React, okay, and the next requirement is Angular, so you need to learn those things as well. So it depends on like the project, and if you have the option to continue with the tech stack, you can do that, but you need to be open as well for the flexibility. So that's my take.
So that can be also done like
Right.
I'm because what happened like into the market like right now I'm looking at like lots of things, okay, lots of opportunities. If you want to grab any kind of opportunity, okay, you see like okay that company is asking for tech stack as a Node, Next.js, TypeScript, and then they are having like Postgres, and my tech stack is like Munstack. I won't be able to fit into that thing. But if you are at JavaScript, if you are good at JavaScript, then you would be able to fill in all of the things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I
those
think
will be like
it also differs from like experience and also perspective, right? And at the end of the day, if you're doing anything great, even after switching the tech stack and even after sticking to one thing, if you're just like really skilled enough in one thing, I think that's all that matters at the end, right? Yeah. Well, I think we kind of covered great points and discussions today, and I would love to have your opinion on the other and your if you want to talk about any certain topic for the next community meet, let me know. Or you can DM me around the same thing, or I could run a poll in the community of what topic you want to talk about for the next community meet. And the more we actually interact with each other and the more we actually connect is when we get the most out of the community and the discussions, right? So yeah. And also guys, make sure that if you're finding these discussion valuable, just make sure that you're talking that on your LinkedIn page or any Twitter. I think I usually do it on a consistent basis because personally, not because I am kind of running the community or engaging the community with, but because I do get to interact with amazing people like Sano today and Dikshit, and there are other people who actually come in. Discussions are really really valuable. Tejas is there. Last time we had a discussion with that. We actually know Vinay. We also have Anand Kumar. So the kind of content and the kind of information that we get out of this discussion is something that I find valuable personally, and that's the reason I post it in my LinkedIn. And make sure if you find it valuable or any even if 1% of this discussion was helpful for you guys, I can provide you with this pictures, but make sure that if you are having any learnings out of it, you can actually post it on your LinkedIn, and I'll be more than happy to see the learning part of it here. And before ending the conversation, guys, I want to know. This is a candid question. What are you actually getting out of this community? Like what kind of learning or collaboration connecting you're getting out of it, and what do you expect more, or what do you expect from the community like this? Let's start with Dikshit. I know it's been just few days, I think you've joined, but how was your experience and what are you actually learning out of it, or anything that you've been experiencing?
So my experience, like I'm able to like hear people like there are like people like Tejas. I'm having like lots of conversation with him. Like I'm having conversation with Kirti. Then I'm having I would be starting like conversation with Sanu for the same like all of the things. Like if there is any problem, like someone is facing any problem, I'm able to gain myself. I'm improvising myself. Like, okay,
Hmm.
this was the problem and this was the solution. Okay, and if I'm applying that solution, I would be able to, okay, next time I would be facing that kind of problem. It's very much simple. I have to just do the small thing, and that would be done. Okay, so that
Yeah,
is the main gain that I'm getting. Like, okay,
yeah.
and apart from that, it's I'm always like why I joined like community, because like in the past I was not having like that much amount of bandwidth. Now I'm spending like time to give like improvising myself into community meets as well, so that I can experience more and more from them, and I can give also whatever
Yeah.
I'm holding myself. I can give away, like, okay, you are facing this problem, solve this way. Okay, and I would be able to also gain like, okay, I'm facing this problem, just help me, someone would be there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that
I
is
think
why.
that's amazing part, because at the end of the day, when you get to meet really, I think you did not even meet like our top contributors of the community too. So in the middle, they kind of like miss out on the community meets, but it would be great if you guys, can get to interact with them, and you guys can take help with just don't shy away thinking they or anyone in replies. Don't shy away from like posting any kind of question. Don't think it's stupid, or don't think if it's very basic or not. Just go interact with people, and we do have people who can guide you and mentor you for the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. And Sanu, how long have you been part of the community?
Like, I recently joined the community. I'm aware of the this community, but I was very busy with my schedules. So this is my first talk itself, to be honest. So yeah, and
I'm really happy that we have someone like you, and your perspective in looking at stuff is really, different and amazing to, say, because every experience gives your learning and perspective on different stuff. So we would love to see you more in the community meets going on, and just whatever you come across, let's say even a blog or even a resource on your daily basis, just make sure that you could drop in the resource learning channel. And if you want any topic that you want to discuss, you can just like, ping me that this is something that I want to discuss for the next community meet. Or if you want, if you're facing any challenge, I can help you connect with people who are having 10 plus years of experience in the community itself, right? And that would be great. And I'd be more than happy to help you out with that too. Yeah.
sure, yeah, thank you.
Yes, and it applies to both Harsh and Anand, and also Dev. Dev kind of knows the drill. He has been part of the community for a while. I hope you're upskilling yourself with the same thing. Yeah. Okay. Have a great weekend, guys. And thank you for joining in. Thank you for making the discussions valuable. And I would love to see your learnings. Yeah, I would love to see your learnings on your LinkedIn post. Please, if you're sharing any LinkedIn post or anything, please make sure that you're resharing it on a community with the link. We'll be more than happy to react with that and give you a little love over there. But yeah, thank you so much. And have a great weekend. I know it's a day away, but and we do actually have a AMA that is happening on Saturday. So if you're someone who's looking out for front-end interview and how to tackle it, it's a quick AMA. So if you find it valuable, you could join in. And if you're having any questions, drop in the channel, and I'll make sure that the questions will be taken up with the speaker on the priority. So yeah, I can make that. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining in, and have a great weekend and have a great night.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.